In the vast Pacific theater of World War II, courage and determination were tested like never before. This is the story of the men who faced the enemy, the elements, and the unknown, in a war that stretched across oceans and islands.
Dawn's our ally now.
They said the jungle would slow us. They didn't account for sailors with boots on the ground.
Ridgeline secured. Beta team moving.
Every step drags us closer to the unknown.
From the first defensive stands to daring offensives, each battle shaped the fate of nations. Soldiers navigated treacherous terrain, enduring heat, rain, and disease, yet never faltering in their resolve.
You miss it? The noise? Not really. That's the thing. Out here, it's quiet enough to hear yourself think. Makes you remember who you are. Beyond the strategies and battles, this is the part the world...
Beyond the strategies and battles, this story reveals the human side of war. The bonds formed between comrades, brief moments of rest, and the unyielding spirit that carried them forward.
Operation Wildfire. This is our objective.
Copy that, sir.
Move out.
Contact front! I'm on it!
Time to light the fire.
Each operation demanded skill, bravery, and teamwork. The struggle was as much against the harsh environment as against the enemy, testing every soldier to his limits. This is the story of the Pacific War, not just a record of battles, but a chronicle of resilience, sacrifice, and the relentless pursuit of victory. Every island, every skirmish, every decision mattered. It is a story of heroes who faced overwhelming odds and emerged through courage, unity, and unwavering spirit. Their journey is one of struggle, hope, and the ultimate triumph of determination over adversity. As the war expanded across the Pacific, the United States was still officially neutral, strengthening its industry while conflict raged elsewhere. That fragile balance shattered in December 1941, when Japan launched a sudden and calculated strike to dominate the Pacific. On the 7th of December 1941, Japanese forces struck Pearl Harbor, aiming to cripple American naval power in a single blow. The attack stunned the nation and thrust the United States fully into war. As attacks spread across the Pacific, American outposts fell one by one. Small garrisons fought desperately, delaying the enemy but often facing overwhelming force. In the Philippines, American and Filipino forces mounted a determined defense, retreating under pressure while buying precious time. They fought on through months of hardship before resistance finally collapsed. Across Southeast Asia, Japanese forces advanced rapidly, seizing key territories and vital resources. Their momentum reshaped the balance of power across the region. In early 1942, the tide was tested at sea as American naval forces met Japan in critical battles. These clashes halted the enemy's advance and signaled that the war's course was far from decided.
The Japanese momentum reshaped the balance of power across the region.
The Allies had endured the storm and stood ready to strike back. The defensive phase had ended, and the long road toward reclaiming the Pacific was about to begin. Pearl Harbor lay in ruins, its waters filled with burning oil and shattered steel. Battleships sat broken and sunk, symbols of a sudden and devastating blow. Yet the shallow harbor made it possible to raise and repair many of the wounded ships, turning loss into resolve. Across Hawaii, American air power was crippled on the ground. Fighters lay smashed along the runways, their destruction leaving the skies briefly uncontested. Only a handful of aircraft remained ready to fly. Even beneath the waves, the attack had reached inside the harbor. A small enemy submarine slipped through defenses, scouting the anchorage before running aground and being captured. The threat had come closer than anyone imagined. The human cost was severe, with thousands killed or wounded in a single morning. The attack achieved complete surprise, leaving American forces stunned but awakened. Shock quickly gave way to determination. In the aftermath, soldiers moved swiftly inland as commands were reorganized. Hawaii became a fortress and a training ground. Even as enemy activity shifted elsewhere, reinforcements began to arrive in growing numbers. Damaged bases were rebuilt almost immediately. Hangars rose again, runways were cleared, and the islands prepared for a long war. Recovery became the first step toward retaliation. Training intensified as troops prepared for battles yet to come. Amphibious landings were practiced again and again, teaching soldiers how to storm hostile shores. Hawaii transformed into the proving ground for future invasions. New tactics demanded new movement. After landing, units advanced inland under simulated fire, learning coordination and speed. Hundreds of thousands would pass through this training before the war ended. Early armored units trained with the equipment available at the time. Light tanks rolled across the fields of Oahu. Their firepower limited, but their presence vital. These machines represented the Army's first steps toward modernization. Improved models soon followed, bringing stronger weapons and greater reliability. Refueled and ready, tanks pushed through jungle exercises, preparing for combat beyond Hawaii. The United States was no longer recovering, it was preparing to strike back. As Hawaii hardened its defenses, firepower was tested relentlessly. Artillery batteries thundered across the training grounds while ordnance crews worked without pause to keep weapons ready. Every shell fired and every rifle repaired pushed the Army closer to combat readiness. Anti-aircraft crews drilled constantly, preparing for attacks from above. Heavy machine guns rattled as teams practiced coordinated fire, learning to track fast-moving targets. Defense of the skies became as vital as control of the ground. Far to the west, in the Philippine Islands, training accelerated under mounting tension. Mortar teams assembled their weapons, while new recruits learned machine gun fire. The islands were being prepared for a war everyone knew was coming. Filipino and American forces trained side by side, building a unified defense. Anti-tank guns were positioned and tested, aimed toward likely invasion routes. Yet the enemy already knew the terrain well. When the war warning arrived, the Philippines went on full alert. Forces mobilized rapidly, though many lacked modern equipment and sufficient training. They prepared to fight with what they had.
Almost there! Just keep pushing!
Maneuvers like this pushed troops across rivers and rough ground. Men and animals crossed waterways together.
One more push!
Practicing movement under difficult conditions. Mobility would be critical once the fighting began.
Engineers followed close behind, constructing pontoon bridges under pressure. These fragile crossings turned obstacles into pathways, allowing units to move and regroup. Every bridge built meant survival for those ahead. Columns of troops crossed the completed bridges, pushing deeper into maneuver areas. Coordination and discipline were tested with every step forward. The drills mirrored the battles they would soon face. Then war arrived without warning. Japanese aircraft struck key targets across the Philippines, crippling air power in a single day. Bases burned as defenses struggled to respond. At Cavite Navy Yard, repeated air raids reduced the base to wreckage. Ships burned, facilities collapsed, and remaining forces were forced to withdraw south. The opening phase of the Philippine campaign had begun. Civilians fled Cavite as fire and smoke swallowed the city. With the naval yards destroyed, the last patrol bombers were sent south, leaving ground forces exposed. The sky now belonged to the enemy, and invasion forces gathered without resistance from above. Before the invasion, American air units had trained relentlessly over the islands. Pilots and crews were skilled and confident, though few had faced real combat. When war came, numbers and surprise outweighed preparation. Japanese ground forces advanced steadily toward Manila. Tanks rolled forward as infantry followed, pressing the advantage gained from air superiority. The defense was forced backwards step by step. Along Luzon's roads, American artillery stood ready to slow the advance. Fighting withdrawals bought time but cost ground. Each delay was paid for in exhaustion and casualties. Command shifted to the island fortress of Corregidor. Manila was abandoned to spare its people, and remaining supplies were destroyed to deny them to the enemy. The defense drew inward, preparing for a final stand.
faced the roar of fire and steel, a tide that seemed impossible to turn. Yet they pressed on, shoulder to shoulder, each step paid for with grit and trust.
Advance.
Their firepower limited, but their presence vital!
These machines represented the Army's first steps toward modernization.
The attack stunned the nation and thrust the United States fully into war.
Dawn's our ally now.
They said the jungle would slow us. They didn't account for sailors with boots on the ground.
Ridgeline secured. Beta team moving.
Every step drags us closer to the unknown, but